We're Kim and Al. Last year, we made some pretty big changes. We retired, sold our house in the city, and moved north to an old farm homestead at the end of its life. Our plan is to build an off-grid home ourselves. This year, with our solar and septic systems completed, as well as basic four-season shelter, we're ready to take on the challenge of building our forever home. We're excited to share our experience as we continue to create this new life on the North River.
Hard as wood, and the fear is that you get a little cracking, so I've been doing is cutting it from the leading edge, and it sometimes snaps at the bottom, but that gets covered anyway. It doesn't have any effect on the end result. 15 and 5/8, and I can get 2 pieces that I need for every one that I have left over.
And you don't kill your hands.
What's that?
You don't kill your hands trying to use that.
Oh, that's it. Don't mangle them hands with the tin snips.
How many times is that? 3?
This is 4. Right now this is 4. It's gonna go on this one though.
Lucky number 7?
Lucky number 5. Oh shit.
Yes!
Yeah.
Give me all your love, oh, 'cause I want you. No one else makes me feel this way, don't know what you do. Hold my hand.
So we've decided to take a brief detour away from the siding and charring the wood to finish up all of the work on the enclosure at the bottom and at the top, just because we found some squirrels in our solar shed that are tunneling through the insulation and wrecking all the insulation in there. Not only that, we're a little bit worried about them staying in there over the winter and gnawing away at the wires. So when we initially built that solar shed, we put the siding up, but the cedar has, or I guess it's pine, the pine has shrunk since then. And so it's left pretty big gaps for them to get in. And we need to cover those up because we can't have them living in there and messing with any of that stuff. So brief detour, no big deal. We have nice weather today. We are actually going to be getting quite a bit of rain, so I think it might take us a while to get this completely finished up on the enclosure, but we're feeling good about the progress, and you gotta do what you gotta do.
We, as Kim mentioned previously, we had, I just came in to check on the system, see where our batteries are at for charge and yada yada, as I do on a pretty regular basis. And when I opened the door, I heard some scuffling. So I assumed mice, because I had heard them last fall in the roof, like in the ceiling of this solar shed. But I just kind of tapped the top with my hand, and this squirrel popped out of a hole right beside the exhaust fan and fell down in between the batteries, and I had to kind of rustle him out with a stick, like just kind of scare him out and back through the hole he came from. And then upon closer inspection, there was a hole up here, one about here I think it was, in between these two slats, and then another one I found at the back when I started to seal it up. So I just ran a bunch of pieces of cedar through the table saw and make nice like 3/8 inch thin pieces, and then push them up in between, because I think the wood shrank and just made the gaps bigger. So I just trying to kind of mechanically block everything to keep, make it a little less easy for squirrels to get in, because my concern would be that they chew on the wires or something inside and make a wondrous mess of our very critical power system. You get it, the things? Yeah, I'm just worried that we didn't let it shoot all the way up yet.
We did.
What's that?
We did.
Did it? Yeah, that's pretty good. Here's my new friend. This is a vole, and he's living in our fire pit. And he's pretty used to us.
It rained 5 out of 7 days this week. The wonderful thing about this being our second fall up north is we already have endured the overwhelm and rush of last summer. This time last summer, we hadn't finished our septic bed yet, we had not even started our enclosure, and we had to complete our solar shed exterior. It was quite overwhelming at times, and looking back, we must have just been running on adrenaline. By comparison, this summer is bliss. With a roof over our head, everything feels manageable. It's so exciting to start to see what was once just a field start to become a home, and to spend our days dreaming about what's next and then get to build it.